What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also hit that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Getting paid just for owning stocks, this is what dividend investing is all about. And right now, this is my weekly buy video. My current strategy is to deposit $250 my own money per week and let the portfolio do the heavy lifting for me going forward. All dividends received are reinvested back into that stock from which it was received. My goal is to put this money to work for me in the long term to build a growing and reliable income stream. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor who focuses primarily on individual blue chip stocks as well as ETFs and CEFs. And right now what we're looking at is my M1 stock brokerage account for my Average Joe Dividends account. And we can take a look at the 1 year performance. We're up 6.66%. Let's go with the 1 month performance. We're down 2.54%. We'll look at the last week, down 2.37%. And just today, just up slightly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the activity log and show you what I've done over the past week. And actually, we're going to mostly focus on today because a lot happened today with the account. And not only the $250 deposit, but also kind of trimming a few things within the portfolio and just trying to make it easier to manage. And we'll go with the first. We're going to go with the morning and the afternoon trading. I'm going to show you what I bought and what I sold. So first up, I removed Honeywell from the portfolio. I know Honeywell is a pretty popular stock pick for dividend investors. It pays a growing and reliable dividend, but the stock hasn't been performing so well and it doesn't pay the highest dividend. So I thought there was a better investment for me than Honeywell, so I removed it from the portfolio, and I'll show you what I bought here. And I'm going to go through these one at a time, but Pepsi is what I chose to primarily replace Honeywell. And then the rest of this, besides Starbucks, this is a dividend reinvestment, a DRIP, but the other portion of these buys was the $250. So we're going to show you what the $250 bought here, starting with American Towers at $17.27, Medical Properties $36.30. Again, Starbucks at $6.98 was a dividend DRIP. Johnson & Johnson $23.18, Home Depot $5.34, Kimberly-Clark $16.47, OHI $8.31, AbbVie $12.80, Pfizer $35.48, and then WP Carey $1.25, Amgen $26.90, and SCHD $90.01. That's where most of the $250 portion went to, of my own cash, went to SCHD. And Walgreens $3.29. The $5.15.56, this is primarily from the Honeywell sale. And then last up for the morning trading was T Rowe at $17.41. And we'll get into the afternoon trading today. We're going to go over what I removed. And Domino's Pizza has been struggling lately, and they also pay a pretty low dividend. And QQQ, I decided to remove this from the portfolio, even though it had been profitable for me. I just kind of wanted to kick up my dividend income. I have other investments that are more growth oriented, so I think I'm covered there. And the primary function of this portfolio is a dividend portfolio, dividend growth portfolio. So I thought these three positions probably weren't the best fit. So I removed them, and we're going to go over here to the buys, and I'll show you what was added, what I added more to as a result of these. And first up was a PNC at $5.99, then Travelers Insurance $126.26. Nike at $134.92, Union Pacific $85.65, Agree Realty $8.29, American Express $145.66, KKR $20.51, BlackRock $192.13, John Deere $112.76, American States Water Company $26.73, Kroger at $15.73, Oracle $117.30, and SCHD. You can see where the vast majority of this went to. Primarily the QQQ sale pretty much transferred right over to SCHD and bought 66.60.14 worth, and this actually put me over 1,000 shares of SCHD, and that was one of my goals and so for 2023, and I just achieved it with that. And last up was Qualcomm at $40.85. And next up, what I'm going to show you is what the result was to my dividend portfolio as far as income. And I have a Google Doc sheet, and I'll put a link below so you can see everything in my portfolio that I own, the amount of shares and everything. You can see the shares that right now my tracking sheet show for SCHD is at 974, but what we're going to do is we're going to update this sheet with the number of shares and my cost basis, and I also have to do a little bit of cleanup as far as Abbott and Hormel, because I'm not going to be receiving any dividends from them going forward, and QQQ as well. I'll probably just delete this whole row here, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the data from M1, and I have a tab here called M1 data, and all I do is I'm going to paste in just this single column A here what I'm going to grab here, and I go to the holdings tab of M1 as soon as it loads, and I'll just grab everything from name on down. There's quite a list. I'm trying to kind of get this list a little bit smaller. We'll see what I end up with how many positions, down the road. But I don't plan on selling anything in the near future. So I just grabbed that data from the tab there from M1. I'm going to paste it, do a paste special, values only. Actually, before I do that, what I do is, since the column is going to have less data in it, I'm going to actually clear it out first and then do a paste special just to make sure it doesn't grab any old data there at the bottom, because I had more positions and those would have been lingering down at the bottom at the end of where I pasted. So you can see here SCHD has updated the number of shares. We're going to go over back to the dividend portfolio tab, do a little cleanup. You can see QQQ, since that's been removed, it's got some errors, so I'm going to delete that row. We can see SCHD number of shares is updated. See, estimated dividends pretty large, but I don't think the dividend per share is going to be 70 cents. I thought it's going to be like 50 cents, 55 cents, something like that. So it's going to be significant, but not quite $748 when it pays approximately March 13th-ish is when that's going to be coming in, the big SCHD dividend for me. So let's go down here, and anything in yellow, those are positions I've removed. So I don't want to delete them because I've received those dividends, and my last dividend is going to come in on the 28th for BST. So I'm waiting for that, and once I do, I'm going to do another video on all of the dividends I've received for this month. I also don't want to delete Casey's here either. So let's do this here. I'll put a 0 there, get rid of some of these things. Same with the shares, market value, cost basis. Actually might help if I put zeros there. There we go. So what I want to do is, let's see here, Domino's we can get rid of. They were sold. Do some other cleanup here. But what I want to do is I want to put in my new monthly cash flow average, which is now $795.23. I'm going to input that here, and we'll see what this did to my monthly income for all these moves. So by depositing the $250, selling Honeywell, QQQ, Casey's General Stores, Domino's Pizza, and then the Starbucks dividend drip, I increased my monthly income to $1,785. And we're trying to recover from JEPI. I was right at the $800 mark, and then JEPI lowered their dividend. But in time, I think JEPI is going to increase their dividend even over this 57 cent per share mark, and it's going to boost it even above. I'm going to have things going up, but also I'm going to have SCHD, I think, lowering their dividends coming up. So with these ETFs, they're variable in what they pay for their dividends compared to like a Coke or Pepsi, Home Depot. They'll pay the same dividend, if not more, annually. So that's one thing to watch out for. But the accumulation of all the dividends for the quarter for JEPI, SCHD, BST have been trending upwards. But in the beginning months, with JEPI especially, and as SCHD, in the beginning months and quarters, it pays a lower dividend than it does in the later quarters and later months of the year. So this is known, so this is probably going to go down again in March, but I anticipate this is going to be well into the 800s mid-year, and especially at the end of the year. Who knows, maybe it'll touch $900. So one last thing I'll show you is kind of my dividend tracker here. You can see when I started doing videos here with this portfolio in January 2021, you can see my starting value, and I got really aggressive putting money in, and we've grown this to nearly, it was at one time over $200,000, but this market's been so volatile that it's been up and down. So we're back into the 190s again, and that's okay. I'll continue to invest. And here we can see this is my average monthly dividend, and this was going up, up, up until I added ETFs like SCHD and JEPI into the mix, and that's what caused this, why we're a little bit lower. But again, this is going to be going up as far as the dividends, tracking by year, even by quarter. I think it's going to be on an upward trend going forward. You can see my deposits, everything here. And again, I will leave a link below to this sheet. And I also have a tab which shows I'm tracking my everything I own as well as my net worth. And if you want to set up something similar, this is handy. Got my savings, checking, everything, track my net worth. It's pretty handy. I recommend you do that. And I also recommend you track your spending. Track everything. Start in March. We have a new month coming up, and just create a spreadsheet March 1st and track what you're getting as far as your income, and also track every line item, every penny you spend. Accumulate that for March and make sure that you have a gap there. And I know some months are different than others, especially if you prepay insurance or you have your license, your registration due at 1 month. It may throw things off, but I think it's really important to track your expenses. So that's my tip of the week. So that's all I had. Just wanted to show you guys what I purchased, what I sold for this week, and what it did to my monthly cash flow average. So thanks for sticking to the end. If you got value from this video, click the like button. Again, to follow this journey, subscribe to this channel, and thanks again to everybody who has subscribed lately and got me over the 1,000 subscriber mark. It's pretty awesome. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great week.